My name is Abhi. I work with Jim's Energy South Morang. With Jim's, I've been working for almost 2 years. So a bit of a history. I've got a mechanical engineering background, and I worked in energy for probably 8 to 9 years. So that pushed me into solar. It's just a huge brand. It's just wherever I go, I kept on seeing Jim's, and it just pushed me into thinking, oh, Jim's is a big brand. It's good to be associated with Jim's, and especially it's good because if you are not from that specific field, because with the setup around it, I reckon makes it much easier to make that transition going into a new field. In terms of services, we do solar, batteries, EV chargers. We also do a bit of energy audits as well, which is more into just helping customers, making sure they've got the right bills, the right energy companies, because we do save money on solar, but at the same time we want to give slight bit extra savings by teaching them how to help them out with the energy bills. Yep, so let's say we get a call, we get an inquiry. Now Jim's Funda is, we normally call customer within 2 minutes to 2 hours. So we are quite active in that space. So we do drop in a message, we try to call. Now inquiry goes in a way saying, I just want a solar, can you help me out? So we do go through a bit of questionnaires in terms of what sort of roof space you have, what are you trying to achieve out of solar. Are you looking at a bigger system? Are you getting a pool? Any EV cars? So based on that, we do get a customized, tailor-made solution, as in we work it out saying, do they need a smaller system, bigger system, with a battery, with the EV charger? We discuss location of inverters. We discuss the ROI on solar, because it's a bit of a expensive stuff. So you not just want to put money and don't expect a return out of it. So we discuss that return of investment. We go through different panels, inverters, to see what shoots better. And good thing I like about Jim's is we do every brand. So we don't just put customer into one bracket saying, hey, we just got this container or this set of panels on a cheaper price, so we're just gonna keep selling you this. So it gives a wide spectrum, larger bandwidth in terms of what you can really achieve out of it. So saving, look, all good thing with the code we send, it's got our systems are tied up with the Clean Energy Council, which is a government body which looks after things are done compliantly as per regulations. When we design a code, the system tells us roughly how many kilowatts is the annual saving. Now, in terms of a dollar value, it's a bit of a sort of a gray area, because you could be with expensive energy company, your saving obviously is going to be bigger. So what I normally try to sell is, look at the kilowatts, but to give you an answer in a bit of a nutshell, in a good household 6.6 system, you save around about $900 to $1,100 every year. Look, this is the only reason I signed up with Jim's, because we've been around for 35 years. That's pretty much my age, 2 more. But there is authenticity in terms of it. We have a lot of compliance. We have a lot of after service, strong after service backup. We have good support network. We qualify electricians before they work with us. And look, there are a lot of energy companies. I think I watched a video of ABC or Project on Channel 10. There are almost about 500,000 customers in Australia whose solar companies don't exist anymore. Now, good thing with Jim's is they know how it works, and they've been making it work for 35 years with 4,900 something franchisees. So I don't expect them to be any issues there. So even if I were to leave as a franchisee, my customers are getting looked after by Jim's Group.
That's a good point. Now let's talk about the batteries. So batteries is obviously something that's a bit of a hot topic, but do you want to educate customers on maybe I should consider a battery, or what does that entail?
Battery is really coming up quite well. The pricing is quite competitive. Plus energy pricing this year, I've heard it's going up by about $400-500. So how solar works is, what you generate during a day, you use it first. The surplus goes back to grid. Now, when you export it back to grid, you're only getting 5.2 cents per kilowatt. Some companies may give you 1 or 2 cents more. Now, solar is no loss is a profit sort of logic. rather than selling your electricity for 5 cents and buying the same electricity for 25 cents at night, might as well put a battery which is going to save you 20 cents every kilowatt. Usually with batteries they have 5-year, 10-year savings, so when you look at the numbers, you work it out that your return of investments are quite good. And at least you're self-reliant, you're not relying on energy companies and energy pricing, and there's a big push in market towards batteries. EV chargers, obviously it's like, for me, when I think of EV charger, it feels me like a petrol station. You just plug it in and it works for me. Best thing, you hook it onto solar, you have a battery, you plug it in your car, it's just not paying anything. It's like literally you don't pay anything. There is a big flux in terms of EV chargers, inquiries and installations as well. I think we're looking at almost 100 times increase month on month in terms of numbers we do in terms of EV chargers. We do a whole spectrum of brands. We recommend certain brands because it is more about return of investment again, and sort of it's a functionality thing. You don't want sort of high-end EV charger when you just need it for a basic thing. Let's say someone calls Jim's Energy 131-546 number. The operator picks up and they would send us an inquiry via SMS, email, and once I get an inquiry, I would give them a customer call. One thing I like about Jim's is once the inquiry is generated, after 10 days, the Jim's Energy or Jim's Group sends them a feedback email, an SMS, which I think it's good because that keeps us in a check and make sure the service levels are right up there. So with the solar, usually the pricing is quite important. Now, good thing is, even if Jim's is major brand, our pricing is very competitive because we work on a larger volume. We've worked with electricians on a good level, so we've reached that fine tuning in terms of working like a well-oiled machine. But in terms of questions from customers, return of investment, panels, inverters, what's my future looking like, can I add a battery in future? Good thing is most of our systems we do, even if you don't take a battery right now, you can add a battery down the line as well. Plus the technology keeps changing quite rapidly, so it's always good to be having a decent system which looks after you for long term. Just call Jim's Energy 131-546 number. One of our friendliest staff, and trust me, they are friendly. They will pick up a call, they'll guide you through it, and they'll explain you what's going to happen next step. And good thing is, every step of inquiry, Jim's Energy keeps you in loop by emailing you, texting you, saying, hey, you put in an inquiry, this guy, for example, Abhi from Jim South Morang is going to give you a call. So at least you as a customer, you know who's going to call you, and not just sort of you not getting any sort of random telemarketing call. And this is one of a thing which we've noticed. We don't give customers information to anyone else. So that is highly confidential information. So you don't get bombarded with 10-15 calls from solar. And usually with solar, you see if you put an inquiry through a few companies, most of customers I've spoken to, they said, Abhi, I've received a call about 8 times from this person. So it becomes a bit of point where you think, oh, I'm just over it. So good thing is, look, it's a mechanical product. We rarely get hiccups, but it's a mechanical thing. Normally in a workmanship, we don't really see any issues. The biggest issue which I've seen in the industry is the broken roof tiles when there is a water leak under the roof. And Melbourne weather gives you pretty much everything. Broken roof tile, sorry. If we were to install it, we don't try to get into just band-aid solution by putting a silicone on it. We would rather replace the tile, so it's pretty much brand new. But in terms of electricians, usually if the customers say my solar is not working when the Wi-Fi is not working or apps not working, but good thing is they all have remotely connected inverters. So if in case anything goes wrong, we can remotely log into your inverter, do a sort of quick checkup, which is free of cost. That's why we usually solve out almost 90% of our issues. And need be, we send electrician out there to have a quick look at it. And usually we don't have any further escalations or any complaints. Look, unfortunately with solar, it keeps varying. Like sunny day like this, we've got like a couple of jobs happening for my franchisee right now. But over a year, we do about 150 to 200 jobs as a franchisee. So if you look at the gym's group number, it'll be a huge number. Good question. So residential, yes, it's a bigger market for us, but commercial is quite kicking in because there's extraordinary rebates. Like government gives you about $3,500 rebate as long as you meet their criteria, and another $5,000 interest-free loan which you can pay over 2 months on a $208. So for me, if your system's worth like $5,000, you don't pay anything to anyone, and you just pay installment to Solar Victoria on without getting credit checked, without any interest charges. So it's pretty good for commercial right now. So I've done few commercial jobs. They're pretty much down my area, down Mernda, South Murring side. So it's a swimming school. We put a 25 kilowatt system there. Customer, quite animated customer, I love him. Yeah, he sends me photos. He always tries to show me I've done a personal best. I said, mate, it's a solar, it's doing generation, and he's quite wrapped. We get usually on a 25 kilowatt system, you get almost about 180 to 200 kilowatts generation a day, and it's huge numbers.